Okay, so I just had the craziest experience, and I really wanted to share this as soon as possible. So today, around 6:45ish p.m., this food delivery guy comes to the house. And I live in a duplex, so it's sliced down the middle. So there's someone that lives right here on this half of the house, and then they're like two separate houses, but they're joined by a wall. And so a lot of times people get it confused. Mine's 358 and theirs is 356, but it's still the same house. So this delivery guy comes up, and I'm kind of looking around because I didn't order anything, and I'm the only one at the house right now. My roommate doesn't get home until around like 7:15. So it's 6:45, and guy comes up, and I look at the receipt to make sure that they're at the right place, and it says my roommate's name on it. Like, it's already been paid for. It's got a sign for it. I was like, okay, I'm thinking in my head, maybe he ordered it and knowing that he's going to be home soon, so that he would have something to eat as soon as he gets home. So, I sign it, and I put it on the table. And it's now 7:15, and my roommate gets home, and I'm upstairs, and I'm going through, like, some old clothes that I want to donate and stuff, and Spirit says to me, they say, today is yesterday, and tomorrow is today. And then they laugh. And so I kind of chuckle, because I'm like, okay. And so then I go downstairs, and I go into the kitchen, I see the food is still there, and it's still in the bag, like it's not even been touched. So I look in the living room, and I'm like, Marty, that's my roommate. I'm like, Marty, you're not going to eat your food? And he's like, it's not my food. And I'm like, well, I didn't order it, and the receipt had your name on it. And he's like, well, I didn't order it. And I'm like, well, maybe you should, check your banking statement, just in case somebody got his card number or something. So a few minutes later, he tells me that nothing's on his statement. And so I look through the bag. I'm like, well, it's already here. So I look through the bag. There's two boxes in there, and the top box had like chips and spinach dip. So I bring that out into the living room, and I start eating it, and he's like, is that chips and spinach dip? I say, yeah. And he said, oh, that's weird. That's what I ordered yesterday. And I was like, oh. I was like, did you order a sandwich too? He's like, yeah. So I bring out the other box, and he looks at it, and he says, that's the exact same order I ordered yesterday. And I said, what? Is this the same place? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, what time did you order it? And he said he ordered it a little bit after 6. So that means that if he ordered it at a little time after 6, and that means it would probably get to the house around 6:45, same time that the food came today. And this was yesterday. And he just kind of looks at me like it's not a big deal. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of amazing because maybe it would just be kind of weird and that would be it, but because Spirit had literally told me only minutes before I experienced that today was yesterday and tomorrow is today, it was like, I mean, somebody had to call. It's not like somebody has to call to make food to bring here. And somebody had to pay for it. And why did it, if he didn't call, it's not on his statement. It's the same exact order as yesterday. And it came the same time as yesterday. But it happened today again. I mean, and it was like once Marty finished his last statement saying, well, I don't know, it just seems kind of weird. I heard Spirit kind of chuckle a bit. It's kind of like, it's almost like saying, see, I told you so, type of chuckle. I don't know, I thought that was super wild, because logically, I can't make sense of that, and really nothing explains that. I mean, someone had to call to make the food. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, how did this happen? How did this happen? He didn't even have any of it. You know, he said he wasn't even hungry. He didn't order anything. I don't know. You know, Spirit for like the past week, I'd say, maybe a little over a week, they kept telling me about time warps and time crunch and how like the past, present, future, it's all coming together in one singularity. And I think this was my experience of that knowledge, so that it becomes more real for me. And I don't know how much more real than that it could possibly get, because that makes no sense if you look at it in a logical perspective. That just seems like, well, that was a weird blip. I don't know what happened. It's like it repeated. If yesterday is today, so what happened yesterday happened today, and what happens tomorrow, and tomorrow is today. So tomorrow, what happens is gonna be a repeat of today. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but if I get the same order from the same guy at the same time tomorrow, you better believe I'm making another video about it. So I'll keep you updated on that. I thought that was pretty wild. Let me know if anybody else is experiencing something like this, because that was like so blatant, blunt, bam in my face that there's no way I couldn't share this. I think that's wild. Okay. Thanks again.